And pretty much when that gets done, man, everything's gonna fall back in line. Right? Everything's gonna fall back in line. Right? You ain't gonna be, disrespectful, walking up and down the road or something like that. You ain't gonna get no back talk from, little kids or something like that, man. Right? Because people gonna fear you, man. And more so, the scripture talks about the Most High magnifying our glory as well, man. Because Jake likes glory, man. Right? That's why we get, fancy cars and all of that. But really, when we get into the kingdom, that's when it's gonna be delicious, man. Right? You're gonna be like a superhero, man. Right? So it says there, even so the times also when the highest have plain beginnings in wonders and powerful works and endings and in effects, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his work and by faith whereby he have believed. So, like the scripture says, man, when Paul said it, man, if it be by works, then it is no more grace of the Most High, man. Right? So the Most High is gonna have the grace unto you, really, first and foremost, for you to come out here and do this work. Right? But if it is of works, man, like any man should boast, man, it's gonna be like, you go out there for a certain amount of time, go home, and that's it. Right? But it's also by faith, man. And the only way you can really justify faith is by doing works, man. Right? And really, I think the works, because I'm missing, I'm kind of remembering that scripture, right? But that works that's talking about, I was talking about the law, man. The law ain't gonna save you out here, man. Right? That's why the Lord, Yahushua, when he came on the scene, he basically set up a new covenant wherewith Israel was going to be redeemed by his blood as opposed to the blood of rams and lambs and all of that, because all of Israel completely went off, man, doing all kind of wickedness. Right? But we're in a stage right now where the precipice of the Most High's Son being risen up and being put in his glory. And the minute he's in his glory, guess what? We're going to be in our glory as well, because we're joint heirs with him, and he's going to redeem us by the works and the faith that you see the men putting out here, man. And that faith, man, that was established by Yahweh from the foundations of the earth, man. Right? Because those honorable men have been here for years, from century to century, right? From generation to generation, right? So I can use more spiritual terms. Those men have been here from generation to generation, man, right? Prophesying the downfall of all these different kind of kingdoms. When the Egyptians were there, you had Moses cursing them Egyptians out. Right, which goes to show you, man, ain't no glory in Egypt, man. The damn Hamites was supposed to be the real Egyptians, know that, man. There ain't nothing magnificent about Egypt or anything like that, man. Right? Right? Ain't nothing magnificent about Egypt or anything like that, man. Them Hamites know that. Right, them people that used to live up the actual Egyptians, man. Not them Arabs, not the Edomites that came up in there, right? And really, the Edomites, I believe it was under Napoleon. When Napoleon went up into Egypt, because Napoleon was just one of the ego trip, man. He was just on an ego trip, man. Napoleon when I rolled up into Egypt, right there. Right, he wanted to conquer as much as Alexandra did. So there was a second set of Edomites coming up into that land, conquering that particular land, man. Right, so them Hamites were long gone, man. They were long out of power after that. They were long out of that piece of land as well, man. Right? So you had Napoleon go up into there, right? And really Napoleon was the one that was responsible for translating those hieroglyphs that you so-called black consciousness people so highly regard, man. But I bet you didn't know about that history, man. Right? In fact, the word lead pencils come, I believe the lead pencils that you have, the word lead comes from the fact that Napoleon's people, right? His recorders, the people that were writing down everything that was happening and doing the translating and all of that. Right, they ran out of pencils and all of that, but he wanted them to carry on drawing paintings and translating stuff, that they had to use lead, actual lead metal, right, and make it up into pencils, man. That's where you get your lead pencils from, man. Right? So really, the glory of Egypt had been done. That's an old thing. But the point I was making with that, man, right? Going back into the book of Jeremiah, the 28th chapter, I believe, in the 8th verse, where it talks about the prophets that have been before me, and before thee of old have prophesied down of many kingdoms and against many nations. Right? And that's the same thing we're doing now. So just like Moses said the same thing, man. You ain't gonna let the people of the Most High go, man. This is what's gonna happen. But it's a little different this time now, right? Because it ain't about letting the Most High. This man is too proud for that. He is not gonna let the people of the Most High go, man. And further than that, right? Even more so than that, right? He was in the hardcore slavery underneath them Egyptians. This man has, is completely committed the real genocide against our people, man. The real Holocaust, man. That's been done against the people, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, man. Some more millions and millions and millions of real Jews, right? Real Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans were killed on the way to America. Killed all the way onto the islands, man. Right? But you don't speak about this in your history, right? Because, you're proud. You're too proud for that, right? But the Most High is going to have to recompense you for that. You're gonna have to catch the payback off of that, man. All right? Getting back into the scriptures, it says, even so the times of this is the 8th verse. 7th verse outside, it says, and everyone that shall be saved shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, right? And shall see my salvation in the land, right? So you're gonna be, if you've been putting in some work, man, you're gonna be preserved from the said perils, man, right? The death, the famine, the destruction, all of that.
So, and the one in West,
right? So what's most paramount, man? The word of the Most High comes up, man. So really, so that the elect could be sealed, man. That's the first thing I read in the 52nd verse of the 8th chapter, man. Right? Seek out glory for such as be like unto thee, man. Right? That's the most important thing, right? And pretty much, with the if you're taking care of the looking for the elect, right, pushing out videos and going out there to the camp, man, there's much more you could be asked of, man. The Most High will take care of your family, and if all of that, working, all of that will be taken care of, man. We can attest to that, right? It gets tough sometimes, but when the Most High works in mysterious ways, man, what might look like a tough job, man, right, might look like some hell, man. The Most High could be lifting you up on, in the scriptures, when you get shot for a little while, and then he might give you an even better situation. And the Most High does that, right? You might go through hell, with your woman or whatever, man, right? And then the Most High might give you another better woman, man, that's going to give you more expedient time for you to, spend some time reading these scriptures, man, right? The Most High is mysterious. He works in mysterious ways, right? Now let me wrap this one up. And says, and then shall they be in pitful case, which have abused my ways, and they have cast them away despitefully, and shall dwell in torment. Right? Now let me go to the 15th chapter, because that's what I wanted to get into originally. But I'm gonna go straight into the point, which is in the book of this is the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter. In fact, I'll start from the 5th verse, man. In fact, I'll read the whole thing, because the whole thing is good, right? The only reason I didn't want to read it, because I bring it out quite a lot. So, but nevertheless, it's all the word of the Most High. It's so beautiful, right? It says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of this prophecy which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in the paper, for they are faithful and true. Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them that trouble thee, and that speak against thee. For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, right? And behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, right? So all you see here, right here, the Most High is going to bring plagues upon it, right? And like I've been saying, man, it could be death, it could be famine, it could be missiles, it could be ICBMs, man, right? Plagues, the crops ain't going to grow, man. Right, and especially when them nukes gonna go off, you're gonna have a nuclear winter and a Holocaust. But the men of the Lord, they're gonna be in them chariots, man, watching this place burn from a distance, man. right? Watching it burn, you know, HD. You know, they go 4 times HD now. We're gonna be watching it in 10 times HD. Watching it from them chariots, man. You know, relaxed. All right. He says, "For wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole land, the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled." It says, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness which they profanely commit. Right? Neither will I suffer them in those things which they wickedly exercise. Right? Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me. Right? And the souls of the just complain continue." Which is the same thing I was saying, you know, a second ago, man, regarding the elect of the Most High that are up there, right? With the Most High complaining continually about the perils that, you know, we're going through right now, man. I mean, you might just be in an okay position, but even that, man, even in that shit, man, right? Think about it, man. You underneath this devil, you gotta go work for this devil, right? You gotta be this. You gotta pretend like you're softer and nicer than, and you take the bass out of your voice. You have to be completely unnatural, man. That's a fucked up place to live in. This is a fucked up place to be in, man. Well, if you don't realize that, there's something completely wrong with you, man. All right, this is a fucked up place to be. Right, everything's in completely in disarray and in disorder. All right. That's why the souls of the just, the souls of the Yahweh, man, his saints, his servants, right out there in the skies, they complain continually unto the Most High, man, saying, how long shall this endure? And it's a righteous complaint. How long are we gonna have people looking down upon us, man? As if to say they're on a higher level than us, man. You got these, you know, these fucking cave dwellers, right? These fucking the worst of the fucking heathen, right up here in power right now. Man. Right, ruling the world right now. These are the pieces of shit that we're gonna be underneath, man. How long shall this endure? That's how the saints of the Most High have it, man. And when you think about it, man, it makes you mad. Right? Like I was saying though. That's how the souls of the Most High are out there, man. Right? And it says there, and the souls of the just complain continually. Therefore, thus saith the Lord. Every time we're looking at it, I was taking a good time. And therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them. Right? And behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt. Right? But Egypt was already done away with, already done fucking hell, man. The Lord ain't even going to suffer them to dwell in the land of Egypt in the scriptures. Right, so all of that Egypt madness, man, that's all bullshit, man. Right, that's all bullshit. Right, and like the elders have been bringing out persistently, man. Right, all that happened in Egypt was faggotry, homosexuality, and we're the ones that made that land great, man. Right, we made it under Joseph, man. He's the one that really started making it into something that these different nations and these different proud Edomites want, right? Because when Joseph was on the scene, the Most High revealed it unto him, you know, that there was going to be famines in all of the lands, right? And what did he do, man? He took counsel with the Pharaoh, right? That he should set up the food banks and all of that. And that's what made Egypt great, because all of these different nations came and they was willing to pay an arm and a leg, quite literally, man, for some food. That's what made that land great, man. And you got these dudes talking about some fucking Egypt gods, man. The Most High made it. The Most High is the one that raised that land up, man. Right? And that's a simple breakdown, man. Right? And then after that, you know, you're talking about the buildings and all of that. Now you got it to where Israel multiplied within that land. We're already beasts already as it is, man. In comparison to them Hamites, they might be tall as hell, but Jake's a fucking beast, man. Right? That's why, you know, you might play some ball or something with some Hamites, man. You crash them down to the ground, man. Right? They're built differently, man. Right? They're built for picking fruits off trees, man. Because I know that's what I might be using them for, man. But I might have them, you know, bricklaying or some shit like that. Leave that to the women, man. Right? The point I was making is the fact that the Most High, you know, he's the one that raised that. He's the one that raised that group of people. Not even that group of people. He's the one that raised that name up, man. That Egypt, man. Really, Egypt was only great for one thing, man, it's rise and it's fall, man. Right? Now let's go into the next precept. It says, but I will bring them, right, with a mighty and stretched out arm and smite Egypt. Right? Really now it's talking about America. You go in the book of Revelations, right? Revelations talks about the land which is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah and Egypt, right? Because the people of the Most High were put into captivity by way of slaves. Just reading the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter and the 68th verse, man. We're into captivity by way of slave ships into the land of America. And that's where it became known as the New Egypt, man. Right? It says, but I will bring them with a mighty and stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and destroy all the land thereof. And Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with plagues and the punishment. Right? With the punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. And they that till the ground, this is what I was speaking about, man. Right? And you know what? This is I read this all the time, but it's never been more important, because this is the future of this is what the 2015 holds, man. Matter of fact, it's in the book of 2:15, man. The second Ezra, the 15th chapter, right here, man. All right. So this, I'm don't run away with that one, Right. It says here, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting in the hell and the fearful constellation. It says, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for their sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against one another with swords in their hands. Right? For they shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the cause of their actions shall stand in their power. Right? And this is when you're gonna have people coming up, people having riots and all of that, right? And this is gonna be real riots in so-called Western, man. Real riots. None of these little marches that people be doing right now, man. Right? Talking about, I'm actually talking about, people, standing up for something, right? Actually, executing the desires of their hearts, so you can understand. All right. It says there, for they shall be sedition among men and invading one another. Right? They shall not regard their princes, right, nor their kings nor their princes. Which means, right, and that's going to be as a direct result of not having food, right, not having no proper shelter or anything like that. Because, like I said, man, right, when the missiles drop, man, you ain't gonna have no proper shelter, man. Right, so people are gonna be rioting, right? People are gonna be mad, right? All right, and like I mentioned a little bit earlier on, and it might pop off by way of that Ebola thing, man. Right, to where people are gonna go crazy because the medicine and all of that hasn't been properly dealt with purposefully. However they're gonna do it, however they're gonna make the people right. Whether it's gonna be white war, whether it's gonna be by way of the Ebola thing, right? The government's gonna institute, all right, an all-out attack on its own people, man, right? And if America's gonna be doing it, you damn sure the English people gonna be doing it, man, right? The English because they go hand in hand, man, right? It says, right, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. Because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, right? And the houses shall be destroyed, and the man shall be afraid, and a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but he shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods, right? Because of lack of bread. So it tells you there, because of lack of bread, right? That's gonna be the main thing. And if we go Ebola epidemic, man, ain't no truck drivers gonna be driving around to give you some damn baked beans or some fucking spaghetti hoots for your damn kids or anything like that, some chicken nuggets and shit like that, man. That ain't gonna happen, man. And what's gonna happen is that the complete movement and transfer of goods back and forth is not gonna be stopped. And what you're gonna realize is the real men, right? They're the ones gonna be able to provide, man. They're the ones that are gonna be able to eat, man. Right? Because that's why it says here in the scriptures, man. They're gonna be invading one another's houses, right? Because of lack of bread. Right, so that goes and coincides exactly with what the scripture also says when it talks about a man being a tower and man being more precious than fine gold, man. Right? You and me gonna lend to share in that day, man. Right? Because that damn sure ain't gonna be taking no one woman when, you know, when you can't go out there, you know, you've been thrown off your job and all of that. Now you can't keep looking good, and now you realize the real value of a man. You want, you know, to have the one, man. That ain't gonna happen, man. You know what's gonna happen is the fulfillment of scripture where it talks about in Isaiah the 4th chapter and the 1st verse, man. A man shall take, several women shall take hold of one man. Yeah, in that day you're gonna learn to share, man. In fact, you're gonna love sharing because that means you're gonna that's gonna make dinner light work, man. It's gonna make house cleaning and all that light work, man. You know. Now, when we get into the next bit here, it says, "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, right? But they shall destroy their house with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Behold, saith the Lord, I'll call together all the kings of the earth to reverence." And what's this talking about? This is talking about when the Most High is going to gather all of the people, like it speaks about in the book of Joel, right? It speaks about in the book of Joel, the Most High is going to gather all the people, right, to come up and fight up against each other, man, right, and to destroy one another, right, because they like it says, they walked in great pride, right. The scripture also says that that these people have got a debt to pay when it comes to the children of Israel. Right, so the Most, in fact, I might as well get, man. I'll come back to the book of 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter in just a second, right?